Stay tuned for more, only on SEVA TV. After an incident at Del Campo High School threatens the security of the student body, the students, teachers, and administrators came together to address the issue. Student producer Annalise documented the events following this incident to show us that DC can overcome.
I am empowered and inspired by our youth.
I am ambitious.
I am a human.
I am driven.
I am international.
I am blessed.
I am educated.
The culture here at Del Campo was never a bad culture. I enjoyed the culture here from day one. There are individuals at any high school, and every high school, that make bad decisions on a daily basis.
So back in September, there was an incident where a group of girls had found a black baby doll and decided to hang it in a locker and wrap string around its neck. This situation intended to blow up, and parents and staff and students ended up not feeling safe at the campus.
So our department was called to help out with Del Campo's response to a racial incident that occurred a couple of months ago, and we worked really closely with a committee of folks at Del Campo to help the student body and the adults in the system address what had happened and how to heal from that and how to move forward to make Del Campo a much more inclusive school for everyone.
And they helped us with a week of inclusive events to really bring our community back together.
So we thought that the I am wall was another way to provide student voice so that students could take one aspect of how they identify themselves and share that with the school.
So it's really just gathering that understanding and building on the culture and diversity, celebrating that diversity in a way that's positive and productive, and then just being there to support each other. Whether we're struggling or we're doing well, we want to support people.
This is DC. We're strong, we're diverse, we're powerful, and we can overcome.
Women struggle enough already as it is to receive fair and equal treatment by the law and by their communities, but gay women have it even worse. This is a story of Karlyn, a student at Del Campo High School who faces discrimination by some of her peers and the faculty because of her sexuality. This is Karlyn's strive for equality.
Karlyn is really direct.
Karlyn is passionate.
Karlyn is organized. Karlyn is powerful.
My name is Karlyn Krankovich, and I'm captain of the rugby team. I'm the senior class president of AVID. I'm a manager where I work. I'm a big sister. I'm a daughter. I'm a mom. But I'm a lesbian.
I've known her since middle school, since 6th grade. We've been pretty good friends all throughout, since 6th grade up to now. She really stands up for what she believes in. I know that. She's very, very passionate.
She is a go-getter, a very motivated and organized student. She's a hard worker. She's a dedicated student. She's a good sister. She's also a great person, you know. She takes care of people. She helps them when they need help. And that's just her personality. That's who she is.
I feel like I would consider myself a very normal and average student. I'm in AP classes. I'm very involved in my campus. I try to help out when I can with all the spirit weeks and stuff like that. And I'm very into those kind of things, but to a certain point, I've kind of given up on it. Like, I don't even want to be part of my high school experience anymore because part of that's been taken from me and no one is worrying about it or caring that I feel excluded. So there's been multiple occasions where I've felt targeted by the staff directly, and I'm not the only student that's feeling this way.
This year with the change of the new principal, we almost instantly felt like we needed to go back into the closet.
I feel that I'm targeted. You know, I'm seen as an outsider or somebody who isn't normal, and that's not the case.
I've seen the makeup of Del Campo student population change over the last 14 years. Our campus has become more diverse in many different ways. I think that our staff does not necessarily reflect our students.
We have a staff that's willing to learn and willing to grow, but I don't think that we're there yet.
A lot of teachers don't necessarily know how people identify. They may have heard gay, straight, and maybe transgender, but there's so much more to it than that, and we have a lot of students coming in here with different identities. So I think a teacher training and a mandatory teacher training is essential.
I'm hoping for Del Campo to use this as a way to live up to our big name. We are a school to be reckoned with. But if you go a little deeper, we're wrecking ourselves inside. There's certain students here that don't feel like this campus is all that don't feel like they have this opportunity. And so I feel like me vocalizing for the student that maybe isn't as confident, that maybe doesn't understand it as well, doesn't understand themselves as well, I think that me vocalizing for them is gonna give them a chance to be in their normal high school experience. We're not asking for you to scream from rooftops that you accept us. We're asking to just be part of your high school experience.
Next up, we have Malia from Heron School here to tell us about her grandmother who has Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's is a condition affecting the brain that disrupts memory and cognitive function. For more on this, let's hear from Malia.
I picked this topic because my grandma had Alzheimer's, so it's kind of about how Alzheimer's affected her life and her family. I made it by interviewing my mom, auntie, and grandpa about their experience with Alzheimer's, and it was fun learning the backstory about all of it. I want them to learn the effects that Alzheimer's had on families and how difficult it is, but I have learned that just the effect that it has on my family and that it was a really big part of our lives, and really the outcome is really important, and it shaped how they are now. This video is very important to me. In my family, it made a lot of people cry. The impact was very deep, and it holds a special place in my heart.
She was fun, but it was in this very playful way. So I have this quote that I think it best describes her. I used it at her funeral. It's a quote by Maya Angelou. A bird doesn't sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. Very loving and clean. She's very clean. She's just really vibrant with life. So she would always be the life of the party, and she would always be telling stories and making us laugh. Early in the morning. Real fierce. She came to America by herself. She hardly knew English, and she made her way and worked through the sweatshops in LA, and she didn't know how to sew really well, so she would get fired and then go to the next shop, get fired again, go to the next shop. When I was in kindergarten, we went to Catholic school, and we had to wear these pinafores, and
My mom got the same material that the girls would use for their pinafores, and she made me pants because I said I wanted to wear pants.
The first time I met her at the King's Ball, she competed in a dancing contest. She was placed second, but I thought she danced good enough to take the first place. She was very happy anyway.
So I remember Kunyai, she would always wake up later, and so she would like crawl in the bed with us, and she would like tickle us, and then Grandpa would make us breakfast. So those were fun memories.
Oh, she loved milk tea. She was starting to get sick, and she would walk to the milk tea shop at like 9 p.m. at night, and sometimes she would walk there in her pajamas. She probably didn't have any money, so they probably just gave it to her.
She always had some cake at the house. She would feed us cake and pie for breakfast, and we thought that was normal until we went to school. Did you eat chocolate cake for breakfast? And they're like, no. We're like, really? We do.
Watch 49er play football.
When she enjoyed something, that was her thing. So like the 49ers, all the way. She's a hardcore 49er fan.
Go to the football games by herself if no one else would go with her.
She goes to the stadium all the time to watch it.
But she loved Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, and so it was perfect that it was during the 80s was the 49er season. What she did was she took all the newspaper clippings and posted all over the kitchen wall. And then we had this clock that was a 49er helmet.
She described herself as addicted to football, and so she didn't want me to watch it because she was afraid I would get addicted.
When she was starting to get sick, they had recorded all the 49er games, so she would erase all the games that they lost and then keep the winning games. And when she was losing her memory, she would just rewatch all the games, but she didn't remember if they won or not. So she'd watch it and get all excited and be happy at the end because they would win. It was like new joy every time she'd watch.
So Alzheimer's is very difficult because it's an illness that requires a lot of attention, but it's not one that is curable, and you don't get better.
She was getting disabled more and more, you know.
I didn't know it was dementia for a long time, for like 5 or 6 years. Your grandfather, he gave up a lot to support your Kunyai. They lost their restaurant, or they retired from their restaurant, and your Kunyai was starting to get sick around the same time. And so at a time where he felt like he could start a new career or start a new business, he quickly realized that she was very dependent on him, and so he couldn't do those things.
I think there's a part in the disease where you're aware of what's going on, and so I was away at college at the time.
I thought, when I went to college, I thought I would never go back to San Francisco and live with my parents. In college, I realized that your Kunyai didn't have a lot of years left where she would be able to laugh, be able to enjoy life. And so I decided to move home to just help my dad.
I think the hardest thing for her is not able to do the things that she wants.
The type of dementia she had, she lost her ability to speak first because it happens in that part of the brain. So she could have wanted to say something, but she literally was trapped in her body, and I think that was probably really hard for her. So it was hard to watch her get frustrated because you could tell that she wanted to say something, but she couldn't quite get it out, kind of losing her slowly.
The images of women seen in magazines and on TV don't accurately represent achievable standards of beauty. This next video from Winston Churchill Middle School addresses the reality created by these depictions and how they are harmful to young ladies.
Ugly. Untalented. Fat.
Dumb. Not enough.
Fake.
Idiot.
Stupid.
Today, we are here to address one of the most important issues at hand, women empowerment, and how women, millions of women worldwide, feel self-conscious of their own body, feel self-conscious of how they look, feel self-conscious of how they are, of who they are, and if they are beautiful or not. You see, society sets these so-called standards, these standards that you are beautiful if you are skinny, you're beautiful with blue eyes, you're beautiful with blonde hair, you're beautiful with brown hair. You are fat, you are ugly, you are too skinny, you are just plain up ugly. 60% of women worldwide feel self-conscious of themselves. And this is why they don't post beach pictures. 44% of people say that gym pictures make them feel guilty, and 39% feel annoyed by pictures on social media because it just makes them degrade themselves for who they are. 51% of women have avoided doing activities because they feel too self-conscious about themselves, avoid going outside because they feel self-conscious about themselves. We take a look in the mirror and we think we're not enough. We're not enough for society's standards that are placed up upon ourselves, or so we think. We feel the need to wear these products to hide our imperfections. We feel the need because of society that we should put on all this makeup, products, and extravagant clothes just to hide our true selves. We think we're only beautiful when we look like this. Yet slowly and gradually over time, because of society, we feel like appearance is everything. Who we are and what we look like makes up everything, and without it, you are absolutely nothing. Worthless, a piece of trash, and just a sore loser. But if you look closer, you will realize that it is those imperfections that make you beautiful. It is those imperfections that make you gorgeous, and it is those imperfections that make you, you. You most certainly do not need makeup to cover that up. Show them with pride, because you are beautiful. Remember, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. One woman feeling confident about themselves is a victory for millions of other women. One woman feeling beautiful is a step forth into a new future for millions of other women going through the same situation. Women empower other women. And that's a message you should take to heart. If you see another woman struggling to see just how beautiful she is, reach out and guide her. Reach out and make her acknowledge and realize just how beautiful she is for who she is and how she looks. And don't let society's standards just placed upon us define who she must be. All it takes is one mother, one sister, one daughter, one woman.
for our last video today, we're gonna cool it off with a documentary from Barrett Middle School about the track and wrestling coach, Mr. Wright.
My name is Coach Donald Wright. I teach at Barrett Middle School. My story is that I grew up in a place called San Bruno, California. I went to a high school called Crestmore High School. It's no longer open anymore. I graduated from high school in 1969. I went to Skyline Junior College for 2 years. Then I transferred to San Francisco State. I wrestled for an All-American wrestler at Skyline named Lee Allen. And by that time I was a pretty good wrestler, but he made me a lot better. Then I wrestled for another incredible coach who's also an All-American named Alan Abraham at San Francisco State. I graduated from San Francisco State in 1972. In 1973, I had my teaching credential, and I attempted to get a job at my old high school. I did coach there. Since I couldn't get a full-time job there, I started a ceramic tile business that I called Tile It Right. I did that for the next 20 years. In that time, I met my wife, Diana. I had 3 incredible kids, and I had a pretty good life in San Bruno. I had a friend that moved up to this area. I came up to visit. I loved how Sacramento looked. Middle of August in 2001, I was ready to try to get a job up here. But then I was at a nice lady's house named Suzanne Ambrosini, whose father was my minister in San Bruno, at a barbecue, and she told me that they were looking for a PE teacher at Barrett Middle School.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Bender. I am the principal at Carnegie Middle School, and I have known Don Wright for most of my life. I think Don is one of the most genuine, honest, and kind human beings I know. I think he is a fantastic teacher. He has always had kids in the forefront. He's a total team player. I would not only put my own kids in his class, but would love to be a student of his at some point. I think he's one of the most effective and most highly respected teachers and people I know.
My class load at that time was a couple of PE classes. The rest was math classes. They weren't real difficult, but since I had not taught math.
My name is Mrs. Danzinger. Coach Wright and I worked together for a couple years teaching math, because when he first came to school, he wasn't just the art teacher. He was part PE. He did an elective class. He would watch me teach. So he would be in my room and he would watch me teach the lessons. He would always talk to the kids, you know, when they were working on stuff, and he would relate it always to sports, something related to sports. You know, you being studious was, you know, that showed what a great athlete you could be and how you could dedicate yourself to being that great athlete and stuff. And so some of the kids would get super motivated.
During those math classes, I had many young men who didn't really like math, but they did think they're pretty tough. So we started a wrestling program very quickly.
Coach Wright helped me by when I lost 2 matches in a row, he just keeps encouraging you no matter what.
You know, Coach Wright helped me because if he didn't recruit me for wrestling, then, you know, I probably wouldn't be as strong as I am right now.
Coach Wright helped me in many ways, with homework, getting to school on time, taking me home after school, helping me with a lot of stuff at home and stuff. Coach Wright is a good man.
And those kids, boys, started coming to practice. They also got pretty good at wrestling. They finally started coming to school every day. They finally started to do homework once in a while. There was a rule that said if they didn't do homework that week, they would have to sit out a week. So most of them would at least do their homework. So we started running tournaments so we can offer wrestling to a lot more kids over here. It's been a great ride. I've really enjoyed being at Barrett. This is my 18th year. Every year since we've been here, we've either taken first or second in the district in wrestling. I'm really excited about the kids I've had and the relationships I've met. Some incredible young men have come through here. A lot of them are now back helping me coach.
A former wrestler of Coach Wright. He used to help me out a lot when I was in high school and, you know, in middle school with schoolwork, and just at home give me rides to, you know, tournaments and just anything I really needed to succeed in life.
I'm Coach Chris. I used to wrestle here at Barrett. Coach Wright brought me and my brother in and started coaching us, started giving us somewhere to work, always helped us out, always gave us all these beautiful stories of encouragement and different things for us to be inspired by.
Many of these kids have still made it a priority in their life to try to get back and help the same type of kids that I've attempted to do in my journey here at Barrett Middle School.
Thank you for tuning into SEVA TV.
We hope you enjoyed the special presentation.
If you'd like to see some student videos or want to find out how you can enter into the SEVAs, check out our website at secctv.org.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Nabaya. Thanks for watching.